Welcome back. We're picking up again. We're looking at practical Christianity. We look at undefiled living from James 1:26 to 26 and 27. If anyone thinks himself to be religious, yet does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this person's religion is worthless. Pure and undefiled religion in the sight of God and our God and Father is this: to visit orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself unstained by the world. What does undefiled religion look like? Merriam-Webster says religion is the service or and act of worship to God of God. James says that if a person thinks he is serving and worshiping God, but does not control what comes out of his mouth, he is deceiving himself, and his practice of service to God is worthless. Also, if his service to God does not have hands and feet that help the less fortunate of the world around him, it is also worthless. And if we allow the thoughts and cares of this world to pollute our thinking so as to change our direction from God, we nullify our service to God. This seems to be a recurring theme throughout James's letter. Faith needs to be expressed by outward works of good deeds to others. I know this is like putting cold water on the issue of our service and worship of God, but let us look at it from an opposite view. James wants us to see that we can't have a pure faith in and of ourselves. This takes us back to our willingness to go to God and ask for wisdom, the working out of his relationship to others. James tells us that for us to have real faith, we need to be seeing a change in our outward behavior. We need to be seeing it in our behavior towards others, in our speech, in our compassion, and our desire to conform to the wisdom of God. Do we allow our tongue to lash out or speak unwholesomely without recognizing how this reflects an unholy spirit? Do we see others in distress and it doesn't bring compassion to our hearts and a desire to help their situation? Are we allowing our attitudes and actions of this world to pollute our thoughts and lives? These damage the view of Christ, and, and these damage the view of Christ. We need to go back and look again at what James says about being joyful in trials. This attitude is to permeate our lives and bring an attitude of gratitude. This should allow us to seek God's wisdom, his insight into working out relationship in and around us. Our faith is to be without doubting, without being double minded. How do we become more practical in our Christian faith? We need to be continually asking, where do I find God working in relationship in this situation? We need to ask ourselves, am I showing my relationship with God in the way I speak and act and live among others? Let's, so if you can, we need to carry out our faith into action. We need to be compassionate to others. If we if you got anything out of this lesson, please share it. Any questions or comments below, I would appreciate it. Thank you.